What's up guys, Campfire here. In today's video I'm going to go over the rules of the brand spanking new DROPSHOT game. Also I'm going to go over a few tips after I go over the rules just to, sort of help you out, you know what I'm saying. So along with the game mode comes a lot of rules. It'll take a couple of games for you to get used to it even after you hear the rules, because I read the rules ahead of time and I still didn't know what was going on until a few games in. So first things first, scoring. There are hexagonal tiles on the floor. Each of them have 3 stages: undamaged, damaged, and broken. When a tile is broken, the ball can fall through it regardless of the charge or the color, and I'll go over the charge and the color in a second. So you want to put the ball through your opponent's floor to score. Just so you know, DROPSHOT is a pretty low scoring game mode, and I'll go over that in a minute as well. Damage. So the ball has several states, firstly. It can be uncharged, that's when it starts out, that's how it starts out at kickoff. That means it'll only do 1 damage when it hits the floor on either side. When a ball is hit a second time while uncharged, it will then become charged if it's hit hard enough. And then it'll become the color of the team that hit it most recently. So the ball will change color regardless of the power hit, but it won't be charged unless it's hit hard enough. So the ball has 2 charge states. Charged, which will do damage to the adjacent tiles that it hits, and ultra charged. In order for the ball to become ultra charged, it has to be hit by the same team multiple times before it hits the ground. That means it can't swap colors back and forth and still be in the air. Another thing to note, the ball will not do damage to your floor if it's your color. The ball will not do damage to the opponent's floor if it does not have enough downward momentum either. So if it's just rolling across the floor and not bouncing at all, it's not going to break any tiles. The third thing is boost. As you may notice, there are no boost pads in the arena. Your boost is on quick recharge, and it's nice because you're going to be going for a lot of aerials in this game mode. Resets. So when a goal is scored, the team that was scored on will get their floor reset. Your floor, say if you score, your floor will not be reset. And the floor does not reset at overtime either. With the rules out of the way, let me give you some tips and a couple of things that I've noticed. The first thing are aerials. Knowing how to double jump aerial is going to be an immense help, as getting to the ball before your opponents will be incredibly useful. As long as you can hit the ball in your favor and get it into the enemy's or into your opponent's side of the field. So you may want to practice those double jumping aerials. Secondly, the ball tends to stick to the walls, and because of this, this is not a mechanic that's in the game, it's just sort of what happens. So what happens is the ball will roll down the wall, and it won't damage the floor because it doesn't fall on the floor tiles, it falls onto the lip of the wall. So you have to be wary of that. It's nice on defense because that means your floor won't take damage, but it's kind of annoying on offense. So you'll notice that, and there's not really a way around it. It's just something that I've noticed. Also, the game mode brings the worst of the worst ball chasers out. And honestly, I'm pretty guilty of this. But the thing though is, if you can get to the ball first and hit it well, as in hit it downwards into your opponent's floor, or at least get it into their half, then honestly it doesn't matter. Everyone's going to be going for aerials, and it's pretty good practice for aerials for game modes that are not DROPSHOT. Another thing to note, since a charged ball will change color regardless of the speed hit, you can just barely touch a falling ball on the opponent's side and get damage. So the ball is falling from the ceiling, say, and it's the opponent's color. You just give it a little nudge on the way down, and you ought to get some damage in. Kickoff is usually a crapshoot, but if a hole is open on the opponent's side, and if you can get to the ball first, then you can put it in. That is, if the hole is big enough or you're accurate enough with your kickoff. Usually though, the ball will go to the team that hits it secondly. Lastly, this is a pretty low scoring game mode. Usually the goals only go to 2 or 3. I've seen a couple games that go to 4, but those are pretty rare. Most of your time is going to be spent trying to damage the floor. Attempting to focus your efforts on one area of your opponent's floor is difficult, but rewarding because you can just hammer the ball there and just get shot after shot. I would say on goal, but they're not really goals, they're just holes. Shot after shot on hole. That sounds really weird. Oh boy. Okay, so when you score, your opponents will get the upper hand because your floor does not reset. So you will still have holes in your floor, but their damage does. So what ends up happening a lot is you score, and then your opponents have the advantage, and then they score, and then you're tied basically at the end. And then when you go into overtime, it's really just who has the most damage will usually pull ahead. So guys, that's about all the tips I can give you in this. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe. I stream on Twitch, so check me out over there. I will have a link in the description to that. But until next time, have a campfire. Adios.